Hi there, it's Dr. Nadia, and welcome to another episode of Straight Talk About Sales with Dr. Nadia. And today I have a question. Does rest affect your bottom line? And I asked this question because just yesterday, I had a meeting with my counsel, and one of the things that I was instructed, advised, strongly suggested to do was rest. And at first I was like, you have got to be kidding me. Like, one, it's February, and two, I don't have time for that. But I then remembered that I made a commitment that one of the things that I was going to do in 2018 was really not only make rest, but more importantly, self-care a big priority for myself. And then as I continued to think about it, I thought about how it actually does impact your bottom line. And here are a couple ways that it happens. So one of the things that happened to me as an example is that at the end of 2017, I got sick. I was pushing. I was hustling. I was doing things. And I knew I had vacation time going. So I could feel like my energy coming down. And I was dragging. And it was really hard for me to focus. And part of that was, oh, you know what? At first, it was like, I know vacation's coming. You know how it is when the closer you get to your actual vacation, you're like a kid in high school and you got like senioritis because you're like, oh my gosh, I can't focus because I'm so ready to go on vacation. And that may have been part of it, but I could also feel like just feeling depleted physically. So making simple decisions wasn't easy and it wasn't happening. And then I just got sick. So I was so close to vacation and then my body was just like, poof, done. So if you don't make yourself a priority, your body will do it for you. You get sick, you get hurt, like crap happens, and you're like, seriously? And it forces you to rest. Well, here's how one of the impacts to my bottom line. One, decisions didn't get made. Things had to be put on hold. I just moved a lot of things. It was like what absolutely has to get done before I go on vacation and everything else gets moved to 2018. Right? So what are those priorities? And it's probably a decision I should have made before I got sick. Anyway, the other thing was I still had a few calls because I am a little stubborn and I wasn't canceling unless I was like on my deathbed. I'm working on it, okay? And so I had some sales calls scheduled, some, conversations that I needed to have. Nope, I opted to have. And in those, I realized one conversation, both were a struggle, let's be clear. I was physically tired and drained and achy and right? And I'm having these conversations. And so one conversation went okay. It was fine. But I noticed that I wasn't myself. I wasn't my usual chipper, let's get it. So I was almost, to me, I felt grumpy. Apparently for this particular call, it was okay because she did say yes, right? So either she was okay with me being grumpy pants or I wasn't nearly as grumpy as I felt that I was, right? But then I had another call, which was after this one, so it was really too late in the day. I was done, depleted. Instead of just rescheduling, I was like, nope, I'm just going to power through. I don't even really remember what happened on the call, right? I was done. I was so tired. I remember asking questions. I was fighting to be present, but it was rough. And I don't know. I don't really recall. Like the next day, I was like, "Oh, I'm feeling much better," and going through my notes, and I'm like, "This makes absolutely no." So that's not good. It's not good to have that gap. And so when you think about those times in your business when you're pushing, and you're hustling, and there's nothing wrong with hard work. I totally believe in hard work and doing a great job and operating in a spirit of excellence. But I also realize that I am no good to anyone, and it's almost impossible to operate at a high level of excellence when you're depleted, when it's hard to make decisions, when you're trying to pick out a Christmas card and you're just standing at the screen like, oh my gosh, I don't even know. Like, because things are not on track. And then when you look at all the other things that have to happen in your business, oh my goodness. So what are you doing to make self-care a priority? And how do you rest? So rest for me, we had that conversation in my counsel because we meet via video so they can see all my facial expressions. It was have a lazy lima bean kind of day. That's how I feel. When you're not really committed to doing a whole lot of things, you're just kind of going with the flow. and you're just giving your mind and your body a chance to kind of just chill out. And it really helps because then when you do go back to do those tasks, you can get them done so much faster because you're clear and you're sharp and you're focused, and it's not taking you away from what it is that you need to do, but you're honoring yourself and you're making yourself a priority. So 4 really quick tips. I had to jot these down because I was like, oh my gosh, what do I say to people who are like me and we struggle with this? The struggle is real and we're working on changing that, right? So the first thing to do is to make the decision that you are a priority. So everything started even on last year when I said, you know what, Nadia, you got to do some things different. I knew 2018 is shaping up to be much more travel heavy with me flying all over the place and being in different time zones and airports and cray, right? So first of all, I had to make the decision that it was no longer a non-negotiable. It was no longer optional. It was a priority, and it was part of my overall business strategy. So first you have to make a decision that I am priority. It's not selfish. I'm not being mean to other people, but I'm actually doing myself and my clients and my family a service by making sure that I take care of me. Then you decide what that means for you. What does that look like? So a couple of things for me is, one, to get at least minimum monthly massages, at least one a month. Monthly massages. I like massages. They relax me. They're great. I think they're fascinating. So that's my thing. To do something fun. To also find creative strategies where I nourish myself and I do things as I'm on the road, because I'm on the road a lot. So making sure I get rest and I eat well even when I'm on the road, so that I can manage my stress, and also some things to just make sure that I'm energizing myself. Now that's a Nadia self plan. You may not travel nearly as much as I do. Create your own plan. Movement. Make a commitment to go walk by the lake. The weather here in Phoenix is amazing right now. So getting outside and getting some sunshine, or going out in my backyard and picking some roses. Like, what are those things that are going to help recharge your batteries, that give you a chance to be away from your desk and always constantly in go mode? Create what that looks like for you. My self-care plan may look very different from yours. Create your own. And then once you decide what that looks like, create a plan and put it in the calendar. If you have to get accountability, my assistant knows, hey, okay, Dr. Nadia, this is what you need to do. So I know I have some backup. My counsel knows. That's why they're like, homegirl, you need to rest. Don't even trip, right? So make sure those things are happening. Create a plan. And if necessary, get some accountability. Because if you're like me, if I'm not careful, I'll slide back into my old ways, and it'll be like 3 months and I haven't had a massage, and I wonder why, like, I can't figure out how to tie my shoes. Like, seriously. Then the other thing is, have fun with it. Don't make it like another chore. What's fun? One of the things that Toby and I have been talking about is he wants to go ballroom dancing. That sounds like super cool. One, because I don't have no rhythm, so dancing for me is like, woo, honey, this should be fun, right? But it's just something for us to do. It's fun. We'll probably be giggling and laughing at each other. Him more laughing at me because I'm a mess, right? But it's something fun. It's self-care. My body's in motion. I'm having fun with my husband. It's important to my relationships at home, which impact your business, which impact your bottom line. You see how all this stuff is connected, right? And then pay attention to the results. As I was thinking about and preparing for this video, when I thought about that day with those sales conversations, thankfully it was only 2, right? It was only the 2, but it was very different. And I was able to really take a minute to take a step back and say, you know what? What would that have looked like had I been Nadia 100%? My tank is full versus I'm almost on E and I'm sputtering along, right? So just pay attention to those results. Start tracking your revenue. Start paying attention. You know, here's where I was before I implemented a self-care plan, and here are things now. It's not just your bottom line. It's how you feel, how you're interacting, what your team says about you, because you're all grumpy pants and cranky and don't nobody want to be around you, right? Pay attention to all of that, because those actually are things that ultimately will impact your bottom line, but it may not be an immediate effect. So just track your results, whether you like to journal. I like to journal. Those are things that I pay attention to. Creating those habits, those things that really help to nourish you, and you'll begin to see an impact and a difference in not only your bottom line, but also in your enjoyment of the work. that's an entirely different video. But yeah, when I'm cranky, I don't enjoy much of nothing. And that just makes my work that much harder, right? You're like, So pay attention to your energy, pay attention to your health, pay attention to how you're feeling, your mindset. All of that is so important. But also, I challenge you, I invite you to really think about making yourself a priority if you haven't already, and creating your own self-care plan as part of your overall strategy for 2018. All right, cool beans. So thanks for listening. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email at Dr. Nadia, DrNadia, at DoyenneLeadership.com. I love to hear from you. I read all my emails and respond. That's a whole nother plan. Don't email me about that, about managing that, but I still like to be that hands-on person. And I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Straight Talk About Sales with Dr. Nadia. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.